Hey everybody, my name's Ty and this is my house. So I'll give you a little tour of it. We'll start with the outside. I wanted to make this pretty stealthy, so you notice I don't have any windows here. I also covered up the solar panels on the top with a bar that goes across the top. I do have those two Max Air fans that are kind of a giveaway, but if people aren't really paying attention, they won't really know what they are. One other nice feature about not having windows is it doesn't let light in. Makes it a little harder for people to see that I've got lights on the outside. It also helps it stay insulated. Come on in. So I'd like to start out by pointing out my beautiful welcome mat here, and I'll invite you to the living room. So let's check it out. Whoop. All right, so here's the living room. I've got two chairs that rotate completely around. So these will face any direction I want. If I want to face outside, I can. If I want to have them face towards each other, they can. So they're pretty versatile. They really open up the van, so I'm a pretty big fan. Another thing, we'll take a look at the cockpit first. So up here, I've upgraded the stock stereo, which kind of sucked, to this Kenwood stereo, and I put new speakers in. One thing about these vans, they only have little 2-inch speakers, so they don't have any bass whatsoever. So I installed this Rockville powered subwoofer. This thing was only 130 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. And this thing is awesome. So it puts out pretty darn good or pretty good bass, and it's as loud as you'd want for this van. Otherwise it'd get obnoxious and stuff and start rattling. So another cool thing that I added up front is I just threw in a USB charger for my phone. So when I'm driving, I don't have to worry about the little 12-volt thing that came with the van. I have a nice USB port here that also tells me the voltage of my van. So I can see if my alternator's working or if I'm getting solar power. So this is great. I have a little magnet thing for my phone when I'm driving. So one thing that was pretty important to me was to have good table space. I didn't want to have to sit over in a corner and eat food or have any of my guests do that. So I added this little table piece here. So when you're sitting here, it's actually like the perfect height for being on your laptop or if you're eating. So this is pretty good. You can move this chair in or out so you can get yourself comfy. And it's got this beautiful view out of this window. So I added this window after the fact. It's just an RV window, and I've got a pretty nice screen on here, so keeps all the bugs out. Another cool thing about this, if I wanted to throw something tall in here and I wanted space for driving it, I can just pop these two things up and then this will drop. So I can drop it and store something here, but I usually just keep it up and locked. So another thing, I added a bulkhead above because I didn't think I needed that much space. As you can see, I still have a ton of space. Don't hit my head on this. But yeah, I put a piece of plywood across here, and I put a pretty strong lip on here, so all of this stuff won't fall off. Up here, I keep my jackets, extra blankets, stuff like that. So if I come in, I got a jacket, I just take it off, throw it up here. When I want to go into stealth mode, I just take this, drop this down, and I've got one on this side, drop this down, and I've got Velcro that I'll stick this to the side here and a Velcro piece here. So this completely blocks all of the light out. So I can have all of my lights on in here, and if you walk by the front of the van, it looks like nobody's here. So I've had a friend that was gonna come see me and they drove by my van and didn't think I was here, but I had all the lights on and I was watching some Netflix. So it's pretty cool. Go ahead and pop these back up. Just throw them up here, and I've got my nice open view again. As you can see, I've got my jackets and stuff up here. There's actually quite a bit of space gained from putting this in. So working our way around from the front, I have this entire row of cabinets here that when I open them, they stay open. So one thing I added on this is another lip. So anything heavy in here, if I'm shifting or turning hard, won't fall out of these cabinets. This one I just keep cleaning supplies, extra paper towels. So working my way around, I've got this cabinet here I keep all my electronics in. And this one here, I keep all my clothes in. Another thing that was really important to me was having a nice desk for my laptop, or if I needed to study. Because at the time I built this, I was training to be an airline pilot, and I needed to do a lot of studying for my multi-engine ratings and all that stuff. So I've got my laptop set up here with a second monitor that's mounted to the wall very securely using this arm. Another cool thing about this, I have a Amazon Fire TV stick hooked to the back of it, so I could very energy efficiently watch Netflix on this if I want to. So I can just sit up on my bed, watch Netflix, and I have this paired to this Bose speaker through Bluetooth. So the sound is really good. I really enjoy it. Another essential thing was this ThermoPro indoor-outdoor thermometer. This really helps me in determining whether I need to run my fans, if I need to have my heater on. It just helps me understand what the inside versus outside temperature is and how the van's doing as far as keeping cool or warm. So for the desk chair, I just got a temporary one from Walmart, this folding chair, but it actually turned out to be perfect. So I've kept it. I don't know of a better option. This thing's awesome. I can fold it up if I want to stuff stuff under my counter. And this also fits perfectly under my counter to where when I'm driving, it doesn't rattle or move or anything. So this is all really cool. So if I come under the desk here, you can see I've got 2 AC plugs that go to a 2000 watt inverter. Above it here, I have a propane detector. I have 2 USB quick charging ports. I have a 12 volt port here. Over here, I have my on-off control for my inverter. And then under here, I have a second inverter in case something happens to the main one. I've got another 400 watt one that can run my laptop and stuff. So that's all pretty handy. And just coming back towards the front, you'll see this cabinet right here. I built with a hardwood countertop that I put polyurethane on. Also, if I spill water or food or anything, I can just wipe them off. It's almost like they've got a plastic coating over them. So I have this big drawer here that I keep these hook latches on. I can open this up. It's really deep, really big. I can just stuff clothes or whatever I need in this one. So we'll check out the other side here, and then we'll work our way back to the bed. So another thing that was really important to me was having huge counter space. So you see I've got this huge counter space here. I've got a huge counter space there. I've got a huge desk there. So I can really cook some pretty elaborate meals because I've got a lot of room to prepare it. As far as a stove, I chose not to put one in the cabinet because I didn't want to lose that counter space. So I got this Coleman stove here that I can pop out, set up here, and I could just cook and have all the fumes vent out of the door. Now if it's cold or raining or something, I can just move this over to this side, open this window, and run my max air fan to where it's pushing air in and out this window, and all the smoke just goes right out the window. It works perfect. So that way my van doesn't smell like whatever I cooked for the next few days. So put this away, just close that, throw it in there, pop this in, and it's done. I keep extra stuff like aluminum foil and saran wrap in there. Coming down here, I have my dry foods. Actually have some room there for more food. And then I keep all my plates and stuff in this. Those fit perfect in my fridge that I'll show you here in a second. And then one more drawer here that I just keep extra propane and extra emergency food in there. So coming towards the back a little bit, I've got another drawer here that I keep just my my toothbrush and toiletries and stuff in there. And here I keep my coffee cups and seasonings and stuff. So in the morning when I want to make coffee, I just reach under here, pull this out, pop that in there, pull my electric kettle out, and with one press of a button, this will boil water in like 30 seconds. Then I pull out the AeroPress, an essential coffee making tool, and I make myself a cup of coffee. So that's pretty simple there. The electric kettle's a really nice option because I don't have to pull out my stove, burn propane, get it all stinky in here, have to dirty a pot and all that. I just can just boil water in like 30 seconds. So I've got a sink here that works great, and I've got a water filter here. So all of the water from the sink drains into a little holding container that's under here. So I've got my trash under there as well. But I have this Reliance, I think it's a 7-gallon jug here. So I just have it all go into that, and then whenever it gets full, I'll just go outside and dump it. I didn't want it just going outside because it's pretty obvious when water's splashing onto the pavement if I'm parked somewhere kind of trying to be stealthy. Also, national parks won't let you do that. So that solution's actually been working really good. It doesn't stink at all. I haven't had any issues with that. So yeah, I'd highly recommend that. In here, I built into the cabinet a microwave spot. So I just pop that open, throw my food in there if I want to heat something up. That way I don't have to pull my stove out if I have leftovers. Then under here, I keep all my pots and pans. So underneath all the pots and pans, I just throw a paper towel under there to keep them from rattling or scratching on each other. All right, so then under this drawer, I have my emergency toilet, which just got off Amazon for like 130 bucks. It's a porta potty toilet. I have not used this. I just use it I just have it for emergencies, but I haven't had something that I've deemed was an emergency to use it. My buddy has the same one, swears by it. They use it every day. I just feel like I'd rather just find a bathroom than use this one. So if I open this up, it even flushes. It's got an electric flush here. So if I was gonna use it, I just pop this open, opens up the waste container. After I'm done, I can flush it and then close this and then tuck it back in. My buddy says it does not smell at all. I have not tested it to be able to confirm or deny that. So go ahead and tuck that back in there. So as we work our way over here, I have my light switch here for the overhead lights, so I can turn these on or off. And I can dim all the lights if I want to do a little mood lighting here. Underneath there, I have my Victron battery monitor. It was like 200 bucks on Amazon, worth every penny, because now I know how much battery I have instead of looking at voltages and trying to interpret it. I know exactly how much I have, know whether I need to be efficient or I can just use anything I want. Below there, I have a little sliding lock here that holds this drawer in that I have all my dry food. So I just have like emergency food in here in case I get stuck somewhere, like snowed in and run out of food. This stuff I just keep in here because it doesn't go bad. It's not super healthy, but at least it's food. Underneath there, I have my fridge. So if I pull this back, I have my Dometic fridge. If I open this up, it's like an ice chest. It actually has quite a bit of space. It's been perfect for me for the last 9 months. Haven't felt like I needed more. This thing only runs off 9 watts of electricity, so it's not a problem at all for the solar panels. And when I'm done, I just make sure I latch that. So one other thing I've got, I wanted to put like kind of a secret drawer, and I didn't want to waste space under my bed. So I have this latch that I can reach under here and find, and it's hidden from people when they just walk in here. And I can open this up, and under here I keep all my electronics. So I've got my drones under here, camera gear, extra chargers and stuff. So this is kind of a secret drawer, but I also have 6 USB ports where if I want to charge my batteries, I've always got my GoPro batteries here on charge. So it's pretty handy, so I can just grab new and good GoPro batteries. So another thing, this can double as a couch. So if I want to look at a nice sunset or pull up to the beach or something, I can prop this up and lay on it and look out the back door. So another thing, whenever I'm walking in, I didn't want to have to go all the way to the back of the van to find that light switch. So I have a little light switch here that turns these lights on. So as soon as I walk in, I open the door, flip that on. These lights light up the whole van, and it's perfect. Okay, so next to this light switch, I have my winterizing switch here. So if I turn that on, it starts heating my hot water tank, or it heats my fresh water tank, and it'll heat my water filters. So it keeps my pipes from freezing. And then here I have an on-off switch for the pump. Generally, when I'm driving, I'll leave the pump off just in case something happens. If there's a leak, it won't just spray, it won't spray water everywhere. So I just leave that off as a safety measure, but haven't had that issue before. Underneath this seat, I have a diesel heater. So this thing is a 5 kilowatt hour diesel heater. It only uses about 40 watts of electricity, and the rest of the energy comes from the diesel. So I have that tap into the van's diesel tank. This van has a 28 gallon diesel tank, and this, if it's going full blast, will only use, according to the manual, 1 gallon of diesel in 24 hours. Now it doesn't run full blast. It'll turn on, get the van up to 70 degrees, and then go down to an idle position. So I think it uses depending on how cold it is, probably more like half a gallon of diesel. The thermostat for that is right up here. So I can set whatever temperature I want. I can even put a timer on here to have it turn on before I wake up. Generally, if it's above freezing, I don't turn the heater on. If it's below freezing, I'll turn the heater on to like 50 degrees and it works great. So another thing I can do, I'll set 50 degrees on this thermostat. And if I get cold in the middle of the night, I've got a little remote control here. Just press the button, heater turns on, and it'll heat up to that temperature that I preset. So cool, let's go check out the garage. All right, so I open these up and there's latches that hold the door at 90-degree angles. If I want to open it more, I can just flip this thing back and then twist the door all the way around. So this is my garage. I can keep like 6 paragliders under here. I only have 3 under here right now, and some tools, a vacuum, all my inverter, my freshwater tank, all that's under here. I'll pull out all this stuff so you can see it. So say I wanted to take a shower, I just come over here, grab my shower head, throw it up here, plug this in, just flip this lever back here. You hear the flame come on, then this will start putting out really nice and warm water. If I want to have it at a higher setting, this thing will really crank. Like, this is a pretty darn fast hot shower, and I can adjust the heat right here. So if I turn it up to max, this thing will get pretty darn hot. And I can adjust where this thing's pointing. But yeah, this thing's pretty darn nice in the summer for taking a quick shower after going paragliding or hiking or something. So also, if I'm soaping up, I can just turn it off there, soap up, turn this back on, and go for it again. Cool. So then when I'm done, just pop the hose out, let all the water drain out of it, and then turn the propane off and we're good to go. Cool. So I'll pull all this stuff out and show you the electronics underneath. So let's check out under here. So I put lights underneath here so I can light up all my stuff. We'll work our way in here and I'll explain all the different stuff. So we'll start out over here. So in here is my 42-gallon freshwater tank, and I put foam insulation all around it just to keep it warm. I also have heat pads against this. So in the winter, if I know it's going to get really cold, I can turn these heat pads on, and they use about 70 watts of electricity, and they'll warm the tank up so it doesn't freeze. I have a 3 gallon per minute. Here, let me see this. Let's hold it. So I have a 3 gallon per minute pump right here, as well as a water filter that goes before the pump. I have all of my pipes here insulated. This goes to an accumulator tank, which is also has a heat pad on it. And then this goes over to this. There's a pipe here in the shape of a T. Now I put spray foam over this to insulate this, and you see all my pipes here are insulated. This lever right here, so I turn my shower on, it's just a ball valve. And the T tees off and goes towards my sink. So I've got 2 huge Renogy 200 amp hour batteries here that are in parallel. So they're running in 12 volts parallel. I also have a Smart Sense battery monitor that goes off Bluetooth to my Victron MPPT charge controller, and it tells me what the battery voltage is at the battery, and it also tells me the temperature. So that'll tell me that, and it also tells the smart charge controller that, and it gives it the right voltage to be the most efficient charge. So up here towards the front, you can see I have my Blue Sea ACR, so that's an automatic charge relay. This is what connects my battery system to the alternator. So what it'll do is it'll detect when one of these is charging the system, and it'll open up the connection. So if the solar is charging the system, it'll also be charging the car's battery. If the car's alternator is running, it'll be charging my main auxiliary batteries. So coming back here, you can see I've got an on-off switch here, so I can turn the batteries off when I'm working on it. I have a positive bus here, which I've got my this wire goes to the alternator. This one goes to my my 2000 watt inverter, and then this one right here goes to the battery. These 2 here go to my charge controller and to my electrical distribution box here. So this is another thing I highly recommend. This is a Blue Seas charge distribution box. So this is how I organize all my electrical. And you see I've got it all written down here. Actually, it goes this way. So you see I have it all written down here where each of these fuses go to. So this prevents, if one fuse blows, I don't lose all my electrical. It just goes to that one object. So this helps me stay organized here. I also have this fuse here that goes to my solar panels. It's 40 amps. So if lightning strikes or something like that, it's not going to fry my whole system. If we come above here, I've got this Victron MPPT 130 smart solar charge controller. This will actually connect via Bluetooth to my phone, and I can see how much charge I'm getting. This right here was a pretty expensive addition, but I think well worth it. This has 2,000 watts of continuous power that it can produce, 2,000 watts of AC power for my microwave or my computer or my electric kettle. It also doubles as a battery charger. So this is a very fast battery charger, and I'll show you in a second on the side of the van. I've got a port where I can plug this into a normal wall outlet, and I could charge my system at 700 watts. So I can charge this twice as fast, almost twice as fast as my solar. So this is really handy. It'll also, if I'm connected to shore power, run all of my AC while charging my battery off shore power. So it won't take away from the shore power at all. And all of my AC usages will be coming off the shore power. So I'll make another video that gives more of an explanation of how all this stuff works, but this is a quick overview. If I want to connect to shore power, I just open this right here and I can connect. I've got a special adapter and an extension cord, so I just plug in here, and then that'll charge all my batteries, and I can run my AC off of that, or my alternating current off of that. There's three methods that I can charge my van. One is with solar, another's with the alternator, and the other's with shore power. So for the alternator, I have a wire running from the back from that automatic charging relay up through the floorboard, up to here, through this fuse, and directly to the battery. So this way, whenever the battery is getting charged, that connection opens up and it'll charge my battery. If the car is not running, but there's solar power, that connection will open up and the car battery will stay charged. So it works out pretty well. I have this 120 amp fuse that's also a thermal fuse. So if anything happens, like the cable frays or something, it'll cut off the power before it fries something.